Right, we were supposed to be wild camping tonight, but I'm not feeling too good. I can assure you it's not COVID, but I don't really feel like camping, just in case I begin to feel worse.
Welcome back to the channel. In the last episode we wild camped on Black Down, which is the highest point in Sussex. We met a beautiful husky and enjoyed breakfast by the side of Benbow Pond. We are Carol and Ken, and we like touring in our little red camper.
Very peaceful.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting birds.
Yep. Now we're off to Petworth.
Petworth is a small market town just to the east of Benbow Pond. I used to cover this area when I was working, and I had many a takeaway from the Chinese on the right. These huge gates are one of the entrances into Petworth Park. Petworth is a town that's mentioned in the Doomsday Book.
And here we are.
Normally, this place would be packed with tourists.
Yeah.
It's a brave time to be opening a new restaurant. In years gone by, they introduced a tax on windows, so people bricked them up.
How much are the houses?
Not as much as you'd think, actually. You can get a one-bedroom house for $275,000.
Huh.
It's very reasonable for this area. And a modern mid-terraced house for $265,000.
Petworth is a town of narrow streets and buildings that have stood for hundreds of years. This lane has a mix of restaurants, cafes, art studios and antique shops.
Lovely Coco Chanel pearls. I wonder how much they are.
I don't know, but I think they go well with the van.
Peeping between the buildings is the parish church of St. Mary. What a beautiful place to remember those who fought for us during the Great Wars. Carol is trying her hand at a bit of filmmaking. That's as far as we want to go that way, so it's back to the town. Well, I'm sure you will agree, Petworth is a picture postcard perfect little village. But now we're going to move on and have a walk around Petworth Park. And the grounds here were designed by Capability Brown. It's reasonably warm today, but the winds are really strong again. As we were walking along, we startled a stag, which ran across the path. Right, now we're off to a place called Uppark. Clear left. I've strong memories of this section of road. When I was a small child, going on holidays with my family, we eagerly used to peer over the wall here to see if we could spot the deer in the park. We're on our way to another country house now, a place called Uppark. This is the town of Midhurst. Note the yellow painting on the buildings. It signifies properties that belong to the Cowdray Park estate. Cowdray Park is where the hoi polloi carry out their polo matches. This is the A286, and it cuts straight through the centre of Midhurst town. This is the small village of South Harting, and up ahead the copper spire of the Church of St Mary. Alright, this is our turning on the left here to Uppark. I'm ready to go. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
We're all masked up. Steaming my glasses up a tree. I think so. Uppark's story begins with the creation of a deer park in the 14th century. The first house that was recorded here was in 1595. The house that stands here today was built in 1690. She always gets a kiss at the kissing gate. In 1989, tragedy struck Uppark when it was almost completely destroyed by fire, and the National Trust had to set about a monumental restoration project. Today, the property is looking a little bit sad and dejected, and like so many National Trust properties, it's closed due to COVID. Yes, we do have to go back for the camera, and this time it's Carol's turn. The clock is at least 2 hours fast. It's not very busy in here. So, walking around a house that's closed and then having your tea and scone outside in the freezing blowy wind sort of takes the edge off the experience a bit. At this point I did my normal trick and went back to have a rest in the van whilst Carol explored these tunnels. Straight ahead is the flowers and grate that I showed you earlier. Down here it leads to the house. And this way you get to the servants' quarters.
Now we're going to a place called the Triangle, which is a car park, and it's near to the Goodwood Racecourse.
Okie dokie, let's go. All that noise in the back is the drone batteries charging up.
I don't think you can actually hear it thanks to the curtain.
I spoke with those two guys that we saw having their scone, and they thought it was a miserable experience as well.
Yes.
I'm not blaming the National Trust. It's the government guidelines that are causing it to not be at its best.
Yeah, going there. I think we peaked too soon. I wouldn't try and get up there. I'm gonna have to do a 3-point.
Carol did the 3-point turn, no problem at all. And now she's cooking one of my favourite meals in the camper van. The dish is chicken and sweet corn, and it's really easy to make. Just pop the potatoes into a pan with a little bit of water and some salt and cook them until they're just firm. Once they're ready, just drain that water away and put them in a bowl or something because we need the pan for the rest of the meal. Now this couldn't be any easier. Crack open a chicken in white sauce from Sainsbury's. This is absolutely delicious. And all you have to do is put it into the pan and let it warm through. Now crack open a tin of sweet corn. Drain the juices into your chicken tin and keep them just in case you need to thin the sauce. Now add those potatoes into your bowls and season them well. And we like to add some butter onto the top of them as well. This makes it taste a bit like a baked potato. Add the warm chicken and sweet corn and you've got yourself an absolutely lovely meal. Now you could add some mushrooms to this as well and it would be even better, but we didn't have any with us tonight, so it's just the chicken and sweet corn for us. This is such a simple meal to make and it's so tasty. I really do recommend you give this a try.
Right, we were supposed to be wild camping tonight, but I'm not feeling too good. I can assure you it's not COVID, but I don't really feel like camping, just in case I begin to feel worse. So we're going to go home, we're not that far from home, and pick up the trip another day. Catch you later.
So we arrived back home late last night, and because I wasn't feeling too well, I've got a temperature of 38.4 this morning, sort of a head cold. I don't think it's COVID or anything like that, but something is definitely not quite right. So I think I made the right decision to come home. I mean, the whole point about doing the Sussex series was so that we could bolt back home if we need to. And also, this series is not going to be a conventional trip. It never was intended to be a conventional trip, in the sense that we just, start day one and whatever the weather is, we just keep going. Far more important to me is that I show Sussex in a good light and from a camper vanning perspective. So if the weather starts to dip, then we will come back home and suspend the trip until it improves, and then that way I can show you the places properly, from the air using the drone, etc. So at the moment, currently held up, not too well, but fine, and hopefully we'll be back on the road as soon as possible. Cheers. These shots are not Sussex, but as I didn't have any other footage of Sussex to finish this video properly, I'm sure you won't begrudge me that. Anyway, stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, and follow us when we are back out on the road to show you the rest of what Sussex has to offer. If you're interested in our van, then check out our detailed review. There'll be a link at the end of this video. And if you want something else to watch, then have a look at our playlists. They're perfect for a night of binge watching.